Welcome to this edition of the Banner Press Sports Corner. Thanks for tuning in on your preferred platform. I'm Nicholas Hodel, sports writer here at the Brighton Banner Press, and March is quickly approaching. And of course, that's the best time of the year for college basketball, and that is no different in the junior college ranks. The Blinn women's basketball team is in the middle of a very tight Region 14 title chase. It's now entering its stretch run with 1 week left in the regular season. Blinn trails Trinity Valley by a game in the league standings and is tied with Tyler for that second spot with just a few games left in the regular season. Should be a great finish in Region 14. And joining me in the Sports Corner this week to discuss the Buccaneers is Blinn women's basketball head coach Jeff Jenkins. Thank you so much, Coach, for taking some time.
Hey, I appreciate you having me. I'm excited.
Absolutely. And, of course, it's been an absolutely great title race between you and Trinity Valley. Tyler's now emerging into the picture and, of course, done that because of a setback you guys took to Tyler on Saturday. I hate to start off with the bad news there, but just kind of what were some of the things that really got you guys behind the pace there against Tyler over the weekend?
You know, they are a tough matchup for us. I think they have the best starting five in our league. They're very balanced. They have 6'2", 6'2", 6'5" inside, and they have three guards that all average double figures. So they're a tough matchup for us. We were up 4 at halftime, and we came out in the third quarter, and they went on a 16-3 run, and we just couldn't recover. I think for the second half, they shot 66%, and we shot 26%. Oof. So most of the time when you shoot like that and they shoot as well as they did, you're not going to come away with a win.
Yeah, that's typically a stat I circle on a box score right there. But yeah, in 16-3 runs, that's got to be super tough to try and come back from it, I imagine, right?
Yeah, we were up 4, and I think we cut it to 4 in the fourth quarter, but we just couldn't overcome that third quarter. I think we got outscored 25-13 in the third quarter, and you got to give Tyler, they hit some shots, and we didn't. So it's just it's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, you are right. 25-13 there in that third, and just kind of that the starting five they have. How tough of a matchup is that for perhaps the third, fourth, or fifth option you guys have to put out there in the starting five?
Yeah, we have such good depth, and we were hoping we could wear them down. A lot of times in the third and fourth quarter we can wear people down, and that third quarter, we're a really good defensive team. So for us to give up 25 points, a lot of that has to do with Tyler shooting the ball well. A lot of it had to do with our turnovers leading to easy baskets. But we just never could wear them down.
Right, yeah, absolutely. And perhaps a game before that got you guys right back in the title race was the second meeting against Trinity Valley, a team you guys have previously lost to, had gotten a big win against them, 80-66 back on February 15th, so not too long ago. And the big thing I was looking at in the box score between the two meetings, improving the shooting percentage by 20 percentage points. That's a big deal. Getting some more three-pointers down, that's huge. But just how big was avenging that Trinity Valley loss a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, we played extremely well. We've been playing well the last 2 or 3 weeks. That's why I was surprised of Saturday's outcome. We've struggled to score all year, so for us to score 80, that was a good night. And then right after that, we went to Kilgore, who was 10-0 at home, and we beat Kilgore. So I felt good going into Saturday. But, in the game of basketball, like you said, March Madness, anything can happen in one game, especially when you're coaching 18 to 20-year-olds. The consistency could be that could be an issue at times.
Right, and I mean, especially in the junior college ranks, and this having been in Blinn for over 20 years, just how tough is that to kind of get the consistency dialed in of a junior college team on a nightly basis?
Oh, it's extremely hard. I think I saw the Rockets coach say the other day about his young professionals to be consistent. Competitiveness is tough even for him with 24, 25-year-olds. So we try to have our team playing good 8 out of 10 times maybe down the stretch, and you hope those 2 times they don't play well that they can find a way to win. And Saturday we couldn't.
Yeah, so you guys are 8-3 in conference, so you've gotten 8 of 11 clear wins on the board. Just obviously the Tyler game wasn't quite the best, but just of the 2 other losses, do you think those are just kind of tougher games similar to Saturday? Or
at Trinity Valley on the road, we were within 2 with 30 seconds left, and we had trouble scoring, and we almost found a way to win, and that's a tough place to play. And once again, Tyler was the third quarter. They went on a run, and we couldn't recover at Tyler, and we shot the ball extremely bad there. So
yeah, and kind of seems to be a real theme just among conference play for you guys. You guys have throughout the totality of the 11 conference games have won the first, second, and third quarters by pretty significant margins, but you've got a -9 margin in the third quarter overall in the 11 conference games. Is there kind of a third quarter lull that seems to come out of your team at halftime?
Every team, every year is different. Sometimes you play better on the road. Sometimes you play better at home. Sometimes it's the first quarter. Sometimes it's the third. We tell them over and over the most important time of the game is the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. And, to be honest, against Tyler Saturday, we were up 5 after the first 5 minutes. It was the second 5 minutes that they outscored us. So consistency. It's just to be consistent every possession is a tough thing.
Yeah, go figure, right? Preach something like that, then it's the other 5 minutes.
Go
figure. But just to get to your team overall, you guys have had some really solid performances, particularly out of Chikara Johnson in conference play with closing in on 13 points a game and a little over 11.5 rebounds a game. Just what's made her so important to this group this year to be able to be the leading scorer and by far the leading rebounder in conference play?
Yeah, the great thing about Takara is we really like defense. We give up 54 points a game, which is the best I've ever had in 25 years. But to finish off every defensive possession, you need a rebound, and she will get us those defensive rebounds. She's a quick jumper. She can rebound in traffic. And she, we can make mistakes defensively, and if they miss a shot, there's a good chance she'll get the rebound. So she helps our defense. And then most years I don't have a low post threat. She can actually post up big and get us some easy baskets down low. And, like I say, most years I have 5'9s that just kind of play on the perimeter as post players. So for us to have a low post threat, it helps us this year.
Yeah, just how big is that in the junior college ranks to have that low post threat there you can get the ball to pretty easily and have that luxury of having that?
It's nice. We don't run very many set plays, and this year we have 2 or 3 to get her the ball because most years we do not have a low post threat, and it's just nice to know that when you're not shooting well on the perimeter that you can get an easy basket in the paint. I think Pat Riley would always call fist in the Lakers with the 80s to get Kareem the ball. There's times that you need to get that low post ball, even if you have a Magic or a Byron Scott. So
right, we have Blinn women's basketball coach Jeff Jenkins in the Sports Corner this week talking about the Buccaneers as they are making the stretch run towards the postseason within their season. And we've mentioned Chikara Johnson and perhaps another one, Jonesha Neal, has also been really strong for you guys in the scoring. 3-point wise, one of the more reliable options you guys have, and within the assist game, leading you guys as a distributor as well. It's just how nice has that been to have a decently strong distributor along with some of the scoring attributes she brings to the table?
I've been fortunate to have a lot of good point guards. I mean, I've had several All-American point guards. I've had them go to Texas Tech, Tarleton, Texas State, Corpus Christi, and I've had a lot of good point guards. Jonesha Neal is by far one of the best I've had. She plays hard every single possession. She's 5'4", but she's one of our best defensive rebounders. She can guard the ball. She's a good help defender. And like you said, she can create for other people. She can create for herself. And she can play 35 minutes and never take a play off. And that's one of the hardest things to do is to get people to play hard every possession. And Jonesha plays hard every possession.
Yeah, she averages nearly 30 a game for you in the minutes category in conference play, and that's a big thing too. You mentioned 5'4" and is one of the stronger defensive rebounders you have. How nice is that to have someone like her be such a strong defensive rebounder?
Oh, we call it gang rebounding. You want all 5 people to defensive rebound. We never leak out. So to have a 5'4", your point guard, one of your best players, if not your best player, do the little stuff and defensive rebound, and then it's fun to watch her defensive rebound, and then she can just dribble out of there when she can start the fast break by herself. So I'm very lucky, to have a low post player and a point guard the same year. That's a luxury.
Yeah, how much of that is effort for a 5'4" player to be able to do that?
She's got something in her that you can't teach. She just competes every possession, and some people call it little man's syndrome or disease where they're just angry a lot. She plays angry. She doesn't want to lose, and she doesn't want to lose a possession, more or less a game. She just
right. And another one of your stronger rebounders, DJ Kincaid, with 33 offensive and 33 defensive rebounds in conference play so far, and put the offensive rebound second best to Johnson. But just what kind of makes her so good at getting those offensive rebounds?
Effort. DJ is one of our effort players, the role players that does all the little stuff. She's our best low post defender. She's our best help defender. She runs the floor hard and gets some layups in transition. She moves without the ball. She just doesn't stand there. She'll face cut people and she'll screen for people. And DJ just is she's an effort player, just an energy player.
Yeah, and the 6 rebounds a game she produces in conference play, just over 7.5 points per game, and have another one with Janaea Thomas at just over 7 points a game, and J.C. Campbell as well at just over 5.5 points a game, of course, in conference play. But when you have the 3, 4, and 5 guys producing 7, 5.5 a night, just how big is that to where it's not just your 2 star players producing points?
Yeah, our depth is from top to bottom, 1 through 15. Our depth is as good as I've ever had it, and at times that can be an issue. They don't get the minutes, to feel free to play in a game like they should. I think most games I'm playing 12 or 13 people, and if you look at Texas or you look at A&M, they're playing 7 or 8 at the most. So it's tough to play that many people. But boy, it keeps our practices good. They kill each other in practice. They want to take each other's playing time, and they're all good players. And when they get in, they all can make some plays.
Yeah, how crucial are highly competitive practices to building teams that can go out and compete for conference championships like you guys have been all this year?
Well, I always tell them we have 200 practices and 30 games. I love practice. I'm not a big fan of the games as a head coach. I love practices. And that's probably why I still play 12 or 13 people every game, because I love to have good practices. And I just refuse to come up with a strict rotation like I probably should. But, boy, they're fun to watch in practice. And very rarely do we have a bad practice.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at the last game against Tyler, I mean, 8 of the players had at least 10 minutes, with another 1, 2, 3, 4 of them getting at least 6. Yeah. So it kind of speaks to what you're talking about there. Yeah. But when you're able to have that many players get quality playing time, is that another pitch you like to use when recruiting players for the program?
Yeah, I tell them we usually play 10. We consistently play 10. But I'm pretty honest in recruiting. I never tell anybody they're going to play or they're going to start. We just kind of tell them the way we play. And if they want to come here, we want to have them. But if we don't get them, then I'm fine with that also.
Everything else kind of works out.
Yeah,
for
it'll
you
work out.
Point.
It'll work out.
Right. And it seems like just with the depth you have and even the stats of some of the other role players, I mean, you have several others averaging 2 to 3 points a game as well. So it seems like you got the depth part pretty worked out, I'd imagine.
Yeah, the depth is great. Like I said, we don't worry about foul trouble. Our prices are great. But when you're trying to make 13, 14 people happy, that's a tough thing also.
Right. And this really the last 4 years, including this one, have been spectacular for the program as far as national tournament appearances, region tournament championships. Just what's been the key to really maintaining such a high standard over the last 4 years or so?
I get good players. I mean, and the players develop, and it's always about the players. It's never about the coaching. After every game on Saturday, I go and look how my players are doing at their 4-year colleges, and they're all doing well. We got players at Texas Southern, Rio Grande Valley, Texas State, Tarleton, Southeast Missouri, Commerce, Houston Christian, Arkansas Fort Smith, St. Edwards. We have players all over the nation right now, and they're all getting a lot of playing time, and that's why we've been good, is that not only were they good for me, they're good at their 4-year colleges. So.
Yeah, and I noticed a lot of Division I, Division II schools really mixed in there as well. It's just, I mean, how happy does that make you as a coach to be able to see so many of your players go off and do great things at that next level?
That's the best thing. The season, like I said, it's tough as a coach during the season. It's just a grind. So it's nice to see all their hard work pay off at the next level. And I like it when they're 30 and 34 and they come in with their children and they show how well they're doing in their work life and their family life. That probably makes me the proudest.
Yeah. I mean, certainly probably make any coach significantly proud to see all that. And really, and you make a big deal out of that on the social channels you guys have of mentioning all those Blinn alumni that do really so well. It's just, what is it about seeing those players play so well at that next level that really makes you proudest as a coach?
Well, I think that's what we do at junior college. You want to see them come in here. Their first 2 years, they're going to struggle, sometimes academically, sometimes the first time away from home. Then we went through COVID some of those years. So to see them go from 18-year-olds to 22 to 23-year-olds and see all the success they're having, just it makes you feel good that you had a little bit of that process and that Blinn helped them out.
Yeah, and you've been here a long time, so you kind of have a good idea of kind of how this program's fared over the last 23 years. Is there a comparison to how this 4-year stretch is? Is there a particular other point in time within your tenure that's been quite as good, if not better, than these last 4 years as far as that standard's been?
We had a stretch in maybe 2012, 2014 where I think we won 32-4, 28-7, and made back-to-back Elite Eights. Those were two really good teams. And then I think we finished 20 wins and 26 and wins. So there was a 4-year stretch in the mid-2000 teens that was pretty good. But this has been a good stretch here.
Yeah, I think that's about what I found too, going back those mid-2010s. And, of course, in the JUCO level, you only get players for a couple of years at most. Some of them go off after just one. Mm-hmm. So roster building is always a big challenge for you. Just how do you kind of take that head on every year as far as trying to build a roster and seeing what you can get?
Yeah, I think it's funny right now, the 4-year programs with the transfer portal and NIL, they're really complaining, and it's tough for them to only keep kids 1 or 2 years. And we've been doing that for the last 25. I mean, it's just what we do. Every year is a new team, and every year is different. And every August 20th, we just start with a new team.
Yeah. And of course, I mean, at large, that scene like you mentioned with NIL and the portal, I mean, it seems like it's like every month. It seems like something new is coming out, something crazy. Just from your experience of having to build that roster pretty much every single year, what would be some of the advice you would give to coaches going to the Division I level, dealing with that kind of every year kind of grind?
Yeah, I don't know what advice I can give to a Division I head coach, but it's just something that's ingrained in me the last 25 years that you just start over every year, and sometimes it gets a little boring as a head coach to know you're going to teach the same stuff to 18-year-olds that you've taught the last 25 years. And I would think that's what the 4-year coaches are going through. They can't keep their systems together because once they find that really good player, they're going to go transfer to another school. And I'm sure it's disappointing for them, but we're just used to it at junior college. We're used to developing them and then getting them out. So
yeah, I mean, and I'm sure from just a coaching standpoint, just when you say start over, just do certain teams kind of give you a more advanced starting point from on some years, or how does that work out?
The difference between this year and last year is night and day. Last year I had 2 returners that averaged 4 points combined, and it was the roughest first semester I've had in a long time. This year we had eight sophomores, 7 returners. So September and October went smooth. They knew how to do everything. They knew how to tell the freshmen what to do, and it was smooth. So anytime you can have 5 or 6 returners, it makes it easier.
Yeah, and of course, last year you were still able to get that region tournament championship even with all those newcomers. So, really, like, at this point, competing for the region title is almost an expectation for you guys. Just what's it going to take over this next week to really get you guys in a position where you can, at the bare minimum, grab that 2 seed for the region tournament, if not climb up to that number 1 seed if you can get some help?
We have 3 games left and 2 are on the road, and they're 4-hour road trip to Carthage and a 5-hour road trip to Paris. Those 2 are going to be really tough. Just the consistency. I think we will defend. For the most part this year, we defended day in and day out. Can we take care of the ball and can we hit shots? If we hit shots, we can beat anybody in the conference.
Yeah. How tough are those 4 or 5-hour road trips in this conference?
Oh, they're tough on me. When you're 52 and you're on a bus 8 hours, it's tough on me. The kids are resilient. I think the kids will be fine. It's just the fact that they've got to go out there and play in front of 100 people. A lot of the opposing teams, football players and baseball teams that are going to be pretty tough on them, and they just kind of have to block them out.
Yeah. What are some of those rowdier environments you've seen with some of the other athletes making their presence felt in the stands?
Oh, it's tough on them. Those kids are tough on 18 and 19-year-old females. They'll say some stuff they probably shouldn't say sometimes. We just try to tell our team to just focus on the game, don't focus on them. And if they get a little bit too mean to my kids, I will call security. But it's a tough environment. Most of the places we play are good. Most of the people, they can keep them under control. But it's tough on 18 and 19-year-olds to be, talked to like that sometimes.
Yeah. On the flip side of that, you guys have gone 11-3 overall this year at home, 5-1 in your conference home games. Just how good has that Cruzy Center environment been for you guys this year?
Yeah, Cruzy, when you play well, it gets really loud because the bleachers are up above you, and it gets loud. And our football team, our baseball team, our volleyball and soccer teams, they come and support us. And when you make plays, it is fun. We just haven't made quite enough plays consistently at home. The Trinity Valley game was fun. When you score 80 points against Trinity Valley, it was a fun home game. When you score 60 points in some games, it's not quite as fun. So.
You almost have to work a little bit harder to get the crowd into it, I'd imagine, right?
I always tell them we are here for we're here for entertainment. Let's go put on a show.
Right, and of course you guys do have the one home game left that I imagine you'll be honoring your sophomores there against Coastal Bend, March 5th. So put that on your calendar, 5:30 p.m. at the Cruzy Center. Just how well has this group of sophomores been for you over the last couple of years that you've had them?
Like I told you, last September, October, I thought we were going to be 4-26. I thought this could be the worst year at Blinn. And for those freshmen last year to win a regional tournament may have been the biggest surprise I've ever had, and to win 24 games. So now they've come in as sophomores, and they're a lot better players, and I love them to death. I'd do anything for them. And they're 21-6 this year, so I'm not good at math, but 21 wins and 24 wins. They've done a great job these 2 years, and one of the better classes I've had. They're definitely going to be missed.
Yeah, and of course, win the next 3 regular season games. You have the 24-win mark before the region tournament, and you can grab at least probably 1 or 2 at least there, if not go on and win the conference. So still got plenty of opportunities for that. And it's just, really, when you get into the month of March, you get into the regional tournament, just how fun is that region tournament atmosphere every year to be able to go in there and play for your berth at nationals?
Yeah, that's all you talk about all year. That's all the kids hear about all year is the regional tournament. So this is their time to go out and make plays. I do very little for the regional tournament. I do very little in games. I just sit there like this. It's a player's game, and I think they'll be ready and they'll be excited, and you just hope they don't put too much pressure on themselves.
Yeah. Have you felt that at all in this team throughout the year as far as the pressure they've potentially put on themselves?
Yes. Most games I go in and I tell them before a game, there's no must-win games. Just play hard, be competitive. All we have to do is win a regional tournament. And, I tried to take some of the pressure off of them, but they were really upset after Saturday's loss. You can tell they were disappointed. And just because you lose doesn't mean they don't play hard and they're not good kids. Sometimes they let the failure make that who they are, and it's not who they are. They just lost a game.
Right, yeah, and kind of to put this thing full circle, of course, very early in the week before a Wednesday game, but just how have you kind of seen them take a practice and try an approach to bouncing back this week?
Monday's practice was really good. Yesterday's practice, they competed, they played hard, they played angry. And then we had our video segment, and they were more focused than sometimes they are in video. They respond well when we have a setback. They usually respond well.
Yeah, and you've gone on winning streaks every single time after a loss. After the last loss you took to Tyler back in February the 1st, there was a 4-game win streak there, and you guys have just been building these little win streaks here and there. So just to be able to build another winning streak, just how much resiliency is that going to take from this group to finish the regular season strong?
Yeah, when you defend, you always have a chance. And this team will defend. We will have a chance every game. But to play 3 games in a row at regionals, you're going to have a few games where you can score it too and take care of the ball. And that's what we're kind of building towards, is giving them the confidence to hit shots and to take care of the ball.
Yeah, and it's been really impressive. 47 points per game overall. I mean, I don't know if you've had numbers that low on the defensive side, but just what's made this team a little bit different than perhaps teams you've had in the past on the defensive side?
The last 2 years we've defended very well, and I don't know why. I do the same stuff in practice. They guard the ball well, they rebound well, And I think they take pride in it. You know, we keep telling them they're the best defensive team we've had at Blinn the last 23 years, and I think they take pride in that.
Yeah, and for you to say that over the course of a 23-year span, I mean, that's nothing small for you to say.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, what's it been about being here for a really long stretch that you've really, I mean, what is it about Blinn that's really had you stayed here for the last 23 years?
The people at Blinn are great. The administration has been perfect. You know, everybody from admissions to housing to advising to our chancellor to the athletic director, just everybody. We get, you know, a lot of the coaches, we go out on the weekends and we talk about our teams and our issues and our good things about our teams. And it's just the people, you know, the people of Blinn, the people of Brenham. When you live here 23 years, I never thought I'd live anywhere 23 years. So my wife and I, we have a lot of friends, and we enjoy the community and the school.
Yeah, and we kind of mentioned what's left for you guys at Panola, at Paris, and then the home game against Coastal Bend, and then from there the Region 14 tournament. So should be a lot of fun to see you guys develop over this last week, and beyond that region tournament, and perhaps hopefully the national tournament for you guys as well. So certainly thank you for coming in.
Appreciate you having us.
Absolutely this week. And of course, for you guys watching, we thank you so much for tuning in. If you would like to keep up further with how Coach Jenkins and his crew is doing as they wrap up their season, all you got to do is subscribe to the Bread and Banner Press. You can do that in a couple of different ways. You can log on to our website, breadandbanner.com, and navigate and find your way to the subscription page and take care of it from there. Or you can call our folks here at the Banner Press by calling this phone number, 979-836-7956. Again, that number is 979-836-7956. You can call it the number, have our folks take care of you with a subscription, and of course, welcome you into our ever-growing family of subscribers. And for those already subscribed, we certainly appreciate your support of the Bread and Banner Press. Again, thank you so much, Coach Jenkins, for joining me this week.
Thank you.
This has been the Banner Press Sports Court. I'm Nicholas Hodel. Have a very good rest of your week, everyone.